These are things that I've seen work for myself. I've suggested it to other people and they've let me know they tried it, they got jobs. So please don't sleep on. What a wonderful. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you are here because I am answering some of the questions that you asked me in my video about moving to LA with no job. So somebody asked me if I could talk about resume and cover letter tips, and I think that's so important. Just to give you a little bit background about some of my work experience, I've worked at Fox News Channel, I've worked at BET, I've worked at TV1. Where else have I worked? Oh my gosh, NewsOne Now with Rowan Martin. So many more. WDVM News. I was a news reporter. I mean, I have mastered the art of securing a job. Not to mention my current job I secured in less than a week, which I told you about in my last video. And this is in no way to brag, but this is just to kind of give you my credentials as far as like giving this advice. This is not unsolicited advice that I'm about to give you. This is advice that has worked for me and I want you to do the same. If anybody who's watching wants to get a job, if you've struggled in this area, I told you all that stuff before, not to again talk myself up, but just to help you, just so you could know that like this is credible information. I'm telling you the stuff that I did myself, and I want you to use some of these tips so that you can secure your job too. And this works fast. I forgot I worked for DC government, so these methods pretty much work across the board in the entertainment industry. They've worked for me to get a government job. So, you know, I figured something out here and I just want to share it with you guys. So yeah, these tips are pandemic proof. Now that I've told you a little bit of my resume and my history, I want to tell you guys how to build yours up and basically how to secure a job in less than 30 days. There are no guarantees here, but what I will say is this is what worked for me. Let's get right into it. So number one of the most important tips that I think has really helped me to get responses back is addressing people directly. Using the phrase "to whom it may concern," that is a huge no. No offense to anybody. If you've done it, it's okay. Maybe, you know, it's not okay. I'm not even gonna say it's okay. I just lied to you. It is not okay to say "to whom it may concern," just because finding somebody's name is not very difficult to do. If you have LinkedIn, you don't even need a LinkedIn account. If you have google.com, you can search up who works in what positions at different companies. I'm not telling you anything that I haven't done before. When I've looked up at different companies who to address in the application, I'll go on LinkedIn and I'll look up who's the human resources director or somebody who works in HR at that company, and I make sure it's in the exact city that the company's into, and I pick somebody's name. Sometimes it's not the right name, but they'll send me to the right person because it looks like you took that extra time and that effort to look up somebody's name. That's what, you know, a lot of people are gonna say "to whom it may concern," and guess what? They're gonna send that same letter out to hundreds of jobs. And recruiters know this. They know how to separate a lazy candidate from somebody who took some time to research and to just go that extra mile. And so, sorry, it's a little hot in here. That's one thing that's gonna set you apart. Directly addressing people. To whom it may concern, you guys, it's not gonna cut it anymore. It's not gonna cut it when you're trying to get this job in a pandemic, okay? When you're trying to set yourself apart, be the person who went the extra mile to find a name. Even if it is not the right name, you are at least in like the right ballpark, the right department, the right city. You've tried. You've gone beyond the act of just saying "to whom it may concern" and just hoping for the best. So yeah, that's my first tip. Go the extra mile. Look on LinkedIn. Look on the company website. Sometimes on company websites, if you go to the like about page, they have a list of their staff, and on some companies I've even seen that they have their emails there, which is even better. You can reach out directly to somebody via email. I'm telling you, these are things that have worked for me, that have gotten responses back for me, where I've gotten interviews, getting to people directly, making it personal instead of just saying to whom it may concern. This really sets you apart as a candidate. That's my first and biggest suggestion. My next tip is something that I talked about in one of my previous videos, which is basically using LinkedIn. You guys, I cannot stress this enough. The job that I got hired for with DC government, my current job at a production company in LA, my news reporter job, I found them all on LinkedIn. All of them. And one of them, I believe, was on LinkedIn Easy Apply, which I know a lot of people kind of overlook. Easy Apply is basically on LinkedIn where you can send in an application. Takes about 60 seconds to do. You don't have to fill out a full thing. But I got a response from that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is really take a chance on LinkedIn. I've put in a lot of LinkedIn jobs. I've sat through LinkedIn Easy Apply and maybe just Easy Apply to like 50 jobs and gotten a few responses back, because Easy Apply takes literally seconds. But I'm telling you, you guys, really fill out your profile thoroughly on there. I think that'll set you apart too. But don't sleep on LinkedIn. It seems like such a small tip and like, oh yeah, I'll look on there. That can really be the way you find your next role. I really stress this so much for all industries across the board. As I said, I found my government job on LinkedIn that I had previously. I found my news reporter job. So this is just like across all industries. LinkedIn really has some really solid jobs on there. Take some time to put your work samples on there. These are things that I've seen work for myself. I've suggested it to other people and they've let me know they tried it, they got jobs. So please don't sleep on LinkedIn. That's a huge tip that I just want to leave with you guys. And before I get into my last one. So I know I said addressing people directly was one of the biggest tips, but I believe this one has been the final last push that has secured all my jobs, especially my news reporter job, my Fox News job. This is what I did to secure all of my last few jobs. Now that I think about it, this is the thing that I think really like secured it. Maybe I'm a woman of faith. I believe in God, and I believe that things work out the way that they're supposed to, and that God works all things together. Even with strong faith that things will work out, I am a person who firmly believes in persistence, that the squeaky wheel gets the oil, that the person who is persistent, who keeps knocking on the door, will get an answer. My follow-up game is strong. My email follow-up game, I don't play about that. I'll send 3, maybe 4 follow-up emails at minimum. Hundreds of people apply for the same job every day. And I understand the concept of, if it's for me, it'll just fall into place. But I also understand if you want something, you go after it. My follow-up game, I will send, and I'll put an example up here because I want to actually give you practical advice that's helpful. Sometimes I'll say, hi, blank. Thank you so much for taking the time to interview me. I'll attach my resume. I'm just really trying to think of the exact things that I do. And with that follow-up, I'll send that same day of the interview, maybe 1 hour, maybe 2 later. I'll do that while I'm still fresh in their mind. After every interview, I make sure to send a follow-up email. And even after I send in an application, I like to send a follow-up email because I don't want to be lost in a black hole of applications, resumes, and cover letters. I will send a few different emails because I just know that so many people want the same job. And you have to set yourself apart. No one's going to do it for you. There are a lot of people who have connections, who have family members, who are in the business. And if you don't have people in place to just slide your resume to the top, then you have to go that extra mile and put in the effort. And that's something that I've learned at the different companies that I've worked at, that sending that follow-up email can really set you apart. I'll give you a real life example. For my job, NewsOne Now with Roland Martin, I worked with Roland Martin when he had this TV show at TV1. I kid you not, and it's probably a little extra, but I have to be honest with you guys. I probably sent 15 follow-up emails. That sounds excessive. It sounds crazy. It sounds like, wow, she did too much, but I got the job. It worked. I sat down and I got into a room to have my interview. So I had a meeting with his executive producer of the show from sending her all these follow-up emails. That's one of the people that I addressed directly. I found her name and I made sure to reach out to her directly. And so I got to sit down in a room with her, have an interview. She then set up a meeting with myself and Roland Martin, and we had an interview from there. And it's because that persistence, it's because those many follow-up emails, I just kept sending them until I got a response. And so I believe that's what set me apart. I believe that's what's going to set you apart. Making the extra effort, going the extra mile that people aren't willing to do. It may seem like common sense, but common sense is not that common, because I know plenty of people who do not send those follow-up emails, or they might send one. When I've talked to friends about jobs in the past and I've asked, oh, have you heard anything back? Or have you followed up? And when they say that they haven't, or that they've only sent one follow-up email, I'm kind of like, ooh, maybe you should send another one. Because it may seem annoying, but being that, but kind of being pushy in that way will really kind of set you apart, because it shows that you really, really want the job. It shows that you're not playing around, that you're not content to just sit back with your arms folded and be passive about it. This is something that if you want to have the ability to up and move to a new city, it's very helpful to have a job not only that can help you financially, can help you live, to help you eat, but maybe it's something that you're passionate about too. And I think that by reaching out to people, addressing people directly, looking on LinkedIn, and having a strong follow-up game, I think all three of these things are really going to push you forward and get you closer to your goal. And I really want to hear back from you guys if you do any of these things, and if you hear back, because I'm not giving you any advice that I didn't do myself. I did all these things, and I just want to share with you that these are things that I believe worked for me. These are my tried and true methods. I have a few other tips too, but this video is kind of getting longer than I thought it was going to. So if you want more tips, more resume, cover letter tips, I'm happy to make a part 2 of this and to give more tips or something more specific. Just ask me in the comments, DM me on Instagram. I always have my social media below on every single one of my videos, and I respond to all my messages. So just if you have specific questions, or if you want another video like this, just let me know. I'm happy to do it. This stuff works. I wouldn't be telling it to you if it didn't work. So that's all I got for you guys. So give this video a thumbs up if you thought it was helpful, so I know, just so I can know to make more videos like this. And I hope you enjoyed it, and that you'll be back for my next video, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.
What a wonderful